There are stories that shock the world, stories that grab people by the spine and shake every emotion awake: anger, disbelief, awe, and finally satisfaction when justice arrives in the most unexpected way. This is one of those stories. In this fictional world, Mike Tyson is long retired, a calm and transformed man who has traded the boxing ring for a quiet, grounded life. His wife, Alana, is pregnant with their first child together, glowing with joy and protected fiercely by the man the world once feared. But fame has a way of attracting storms, and sometimes those storms come wearing diamonds, dripping with entitlement and believing their money makes them untouchable. Enter Cassandra Vale, socialite, model, and the longtime mistress of multi-billionaire Gideon Rourke. She lives in a world where apologies are beneath her and consequences seem optional. But all that changes the day she crosses paths with Alana in one of the most shocking confrontations ever witnessed at a private airfield. What happened on that runway became a headline, a cautionary tale, and a turning point none of them expected, because in this story, justice doesn't arrive wearing a badge. It arrives descending the steps of a $50 million jet. So sit back, relax, and prepare for a deeply engaging, emotional, and dramatic experience. This is part one, setting the stage for everything to come. And if you enjoy this story, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more powerful storytelling. Mike Tyson had never seen Alana smile so widely. Her hand rested gently on the curve of her stomach as they walked across the private runway, sunlight reflecting off the polished jet engines all around them. She was 7 months pregnant, moving slowly but gracefully, her step steady and calm. Mike walked half a step behind her, protective out of instinct, even though the airfield was one of the safest in the state. They were supposed to fly to a quiet Caribbean island for a short baby moon. Just peace, ocean breeze, and no reporters. But that peaceful plan would be shattered before they even reached their jet. At the far end of the runway, a sleek, obsidian-black private jet was taxiing in. Even from a distance, you could feel the wealth radiating from it. Mike recognized it instantly. Only one man in the country owned a plane like that. Gideon Rourke, billionaire investor, tycoon, man whose deals shook markets. But more importantly, a man known for never travelling without trouble following close behind. Trouble, in this case, wore 6-inch heels and a face full of rage. Cassandra Vale, Gideon's infamous mistress, stormed out of the jet before the steps had even fully extended. She shoved 2 flight attendants aside, waving her hands wildly at Gideon, who had yet to appear. "You're ruining my life," she shrieked. "You can't do this to me. I'm not some toy you get to discard." Mike and Alana exchanged a glance, awkward, uncomfortable. They kept walking, hoping the spectacle would stay far away from them. It didn't, because when Cassandra's furious eyes scanned the runway, they didn't land on Gideon, they landed on Alana. And then her expression changed, jealousy, cruelty, and entitlement twisting together like venom. "Oh, look who it is," Cassandra sneered as she marched towards them. "The little nobody who married a changed man. How precious." Mike tensed instantly. Alana inhaled slowly, calm but alert. They tried to step aside. Cassandra stepped directly in front of them. "Pregnant, are we?" she said, cocking her head. "Must be nice having a man who actually wants you." Mike's jaw tightened. "Ma'am, step back," Cassandra laughed. "Or what? You'll punch me? Oh, right. You don't do violence anymore. You're healed. How cute." People on the airstrip were staring now. A security team was approaching, but too slowly. Alana tried to de-escalate. "We don't want any trouble. Please move." "Oh, I'll move," Cassandra said, and then, shockingly, she lunged forward. Her heel struck Alana squarely in the side of her stomach. It wasn't a shove. It wasn't an accidental bump. It was a kick, a deliberate, vicious one. Alana gasped and folded forward in pain. Mike froze, not for long, not even a second, but long enough for the old rage inside him to roar awake. His fists clenched so hard he felt his nails dig into his palms. "You," he growled, taking a step forward. But Alana, even hurt, grabbed his arm. "Mike, no." Her voice brought him back from the edge. Cassandra smirked, delighted with herself. "Oh, look at that. Even your pregnant wife has to stop you from hitting a woman. Pathetic." Mike lifted Alana gently, helping her steady her breathing. Panic fled in his chest. You feel the baby? Answer me, baby, please. Alana nodded, wincing. Yes, I think so. Just pain. Give me a second. Mike exhaled shakily. The relief didn't erase the fury, but it kept him grounded. Security finally reached them. Mum, you need to step away. Cassandra shoved one of them. Don't touch me. Do you know who I am? Then she turned back to Mike. Your wife shouldn't stand so close if she's going to be so fragile. That was the line. The moment. The spark that lit an explosion none of them saw coming. A deep voice thundered across the runway. Cassandra, stop talking, now! Every head turned. The door of the black jet finally lowered completely. And Gideon Rourke stepped out. He didn't walk. He glided with the slow, deliberate authority of a man used to owning every room, every deal, every inch of the world he touched. His tailored suit was flawless, dark hair perfectly groomed, eyes cold and absolutely deadly. Cassandra froze. It was the first time she'd looked afraid. Gideon's gaze shifted from her to Alana, pregnant, hurt, leaning against Mike, then to Mike himself, whose entire body shook from restraining the violence he had every right to unleash. It was in that silence, that breath between moments, that everyone realised something shocking. Gideon wasn't angry at Mike. He was furious at Cassandra. Tell me you didn't just lay a finger on a pregnant woman, he said, his voice deadly calm. Cassandra scoffed weakly. She was in my way. Gideon descended the stairs slowly. Cassandra, he said, I warned you last week. One more public outburst. One more incident. One more moment where you mistreat anyone at all. He paused at the last step. And we're done. Cassandra blinked, stunned. No, you can't be serious. Gideon, listen. She provoked me. They were looking at me. She is 7 months pregnant. Gideon snapped louder now. And you kicked her. Do you understand the gravity of what you've done? Cassandra trembled. You're choosing them over me. I'm choosing basic humanity, Gideon said coldly. Mike stepped forward finally, supporting Alana with one arm, his voice low and controlled. My wife needs medical attention. Move. Everyone parted. Everyone but Cassandra. She reached for Gideon, desperate. Gideon, please don't leave me. You can't throw me away like this. And that was when Gideon delivered the line that would later dominate headlines. You threw yourself away the moment you became a danger to others. We're finished. Effective now. Cassandra collapsed to her knees, sobbing hysterically. Gideon didn't even look at her. He turned to Mike and Alana. Let me arrange a medical team, he said. I'm responsible for this, even indirectly. Mike stared at him, surprised, suspicious, but willing to accept help for Alana's sake. They walked toward the terminal together, leaving Cassandra screaming behind them. But little did any of them know. This was only the beginning. The private terminal's emergency medical suite buzzed with quiet professionalism. Alana lay on a cushioned recliner, heart monitor attached, a soft blanket pulled over her legs. The medic, Dr. Eliza Rowan, performed slow, careful checks, while Mike hovered beside her, unable to sit still. She's stable, Dr. Rowan reassured. The baby's heart rate is strong, but the impact caused abdominal strain. She needs rest and monitoring for the next 24 hours. Mike exhaled, relief flooding every corner of his soul. But the relief didn't wipe away the rage. He leaned down, kissed Alana's forehead, and whispered, I'm right here. Across the room, Gideon Rourke stood near the window, still as a statue. His normally unreadable expression showed something unusual. Guilt. Heavy, quiet guilt. When the doctor stepped out to prepare paperwork, Gideon approached. I'm sorry, he said softly. Mike turned, eyes sharp. Your mistress kicked my pregnant wife. Gideon accepted the blow of the words without flinching. Yes, and she will face the consequences. Mike snorted. People like her don't face anything. For the first time, Gideon's eyes hardened, not at Mike, not defensively, but with a cold resolve aimed at someone who wasn't in the room. You don't know Cassandra, he said. You don't know me either. Mike stepped closer, squaring up, not threatening, but demanding truth. Then explain. Gideon sighed, a deep, heavy breath that sounded nothing like the billionaire prince the world feared and admired. He looked exhausted, older, human. She wasn't supposed to be on that jet, he began. I told her the relationship was ending. She didn't accept it. She boarded my plane by force, found my travel schedule, and created a scene mid-flight. Alana listened quietly from the recliner, watching Gideon with narrowed, thoughtful eyes. She had issues, emotional instability, untreated trauma, unpredictable rage. He glanced down. I stayed out of guilt, not love. I felt responsible for her. I thought I could help her change. Mike let out a small, humorless laugh. I know exactly what that's like. Gideon's eyes flicked up, surprised. I was that person once, Mike said, voice low, explosive, dangerous. People didn't know whether I'd hug them or break their teeth, but I changed because someone believed in me. And she helped you, Gideon said, glancing at Alana. Mike nodded. Yeah, she helped me stop fighting the world. It was the first moment of mutual understanding between the two men, one known for his fists, the other for his power. But the fragile quiet didn't last, because the door slammed open. Cassandra stumbled inside, face streaked with tears, hair wild, security guards chasing after her. "Get away from him!" she screamed, voice cracking. "Gideon, she's manipulating you. They're lying. This is all a trap." Mike moved instantly, stepping between her and Alana like a wall of muscle. "Cassandra," Gideon said sharply, "you are not welcome here." She ignored him, eyes fixated on Alana with poisonous hatred. "It's your fault," she spat. "You ruined everything. He was leaving me because of you. You and your baby." Mike lunged forward, fury igniting again, but Gideon was faster. "Cassandra!" His voice boomed like a thunderclap. She froze. Gideon stepped toward her slowly, each step heavier than the last. "You assaulted a pregnant woman," he said. "You boarded my aircraft without permission. You threatened my staff, and now you force your way into a medical room after security removed you." Cassandra trembled, not with fear, but denial. "How can you talk to me like this after everything I gave you? Everything I sacrificed?" Gideon closed his eyes. "You didn't sacrifice. You consumed. You drained. You hurt people, Cassandra. And today, you crossed a line you cannot return from." She shook her head violently. "You promised you'd never leave me." "No," Gideon said gently. "I promised I'd help you. But help requires willingness. You chose destruction." Her breathing grew ragged. "You can't do this. You can't throw me out like trash. You're mine. Mine." Security grabbed her arms, but she fought like a cornered animal. "Get off me! Gideon! Gideon, help me!" Gideon's face tightened. Not cold, not cruel, but shattered. Because even when love dies, responsibility sometimes lingers like a ghost. He spoke quietly. "Cassandra, I hope someday you find peace. But that peace won't come through me. Not anymore." Her scream echoed through the hallways as security dragged her away. The silence that followed was suffocating. Gideon leaned against the wall, covering his face with one hand. For a moment, he looked like a man carrying a mountain on his shoulders. Alana broke the silence first. "She needs psychiatric care, not jail." Mike stared at her, shocked. "Baby, she kicked you." "I know," Alana said softly, "but I saw her eyes. She's lost. Angry, yes, but also drowning." Gideon nodded slowly. "I'll arrange it. She'll be placed in a treatment centre, not a prison." Mike relaxed slightly. He didn't forgive Cassandra, not even close, but he respected Alana's compassion. A few minutes later, Dr. Rowan returned. "Good news," she said. "Alana and the baby are stable enough to go home, but she needs rest for the week." Relief washed over the room like warm sunlight. Gideon stepped forward. "My driver will take you both home, and I'll cover all medical costs and more." Mike shook his head. "Keep your money, just keep your people in check." Gideon didn't argue. He simply nodded. But as they prepared to leave, Gideon hesitated. "Mike," he said quietly, "there's something I haven't told you." Mike turned sharply. "What now?" Gideon exhaled. "Cassandra wasn't jealous of you. She was jealous of Alana, for a reason deeper than I expected." Alana frowned. "What reason?" Gideon swallowed hard. "Because," he paused, "I recently ended things with Cassandra because I was planning to propose to someone else. Someone I actually loved, but I didn't tell Cassandra yet." Mike raised an eyebrow. "And that has anything to do With us? Gideon nodded. Yes, because the woman I was going to propose to is a close friend of Alana's. Alana gasped. Who? Marissa, Gideon said quietly. Alana clapped her hand over her mouth. Marissa! My best friend Marissa! Gideon lowered his head. And Cassandra believed Alana encouraged Marissa to steal her man. That's why she snapped today. It wasn't random. The room spun with shock. Mike paced in disbelief. Does Marissa even know you love her? No, Gideon admitted. I wanted to get my life clean first, then tell her. Alana stared at him, overwhelmed. Gideon, you should tell her the truth. I intend to, Gideon said. But first, I need to ensure Cassandra gets the help she needs. He turned to Mike. And I need to apologize, again, not as a billionaire, as a man. Mike nodded. You protected my wife just now. That's what matters. Gideon extended his hand. Mike looked at it long, then he shook it. 2 days later, sunlight poured into Mike and Alana's living room. She lay curled on the couch, feeling much better, sipping warm tea. A soft knock sounded at the door. When Mike opened it, he found a woman standing there, tall, elegant, eyes red from crying. Marissa. She walked inside slowly, her expression a mixture of confusion, guilt, fear, and hope. Alana, she whispered, I heard what happened. Are you okay? Is the baby okay? We're fine, Alana said, hugging her tight. Sit down. We need to talk. Mike stepped into the kitchen, giving them privacy. Marissa sat, wringing her hands. I don't understand why Cassandra attacked you. She hates me. She always has. But why you? Alana inhaled deeply. Because of Gideon, Marissa stiffened. What about him? Alana took her hands gently. Marissa, he loves you. Marissa froze. He ended things with Cassandra, Alana continued, for good. And he plans to tell you everything. Marissa's breath faltered. Tears filled her eyes. He loves me, she whispered. Yes. A quiet knock at the door interrupted them. Marissa turned slowly. Gideon stood outside. No private jet, no entourage, no billionaire aura. Just a man terrified of losing the woman he loved. Alana smiled softly. Go. Marissa walked to the door with trembling legs. Gideon's voice cracked when he spoke. Marissa, I'm sorry. For everything, for the chaos, for the damage, for not telling you sooner. Marissa wiped her eyes. Do you really love me? With every part of me, he whispered, and I'll spend the rest of my life proving it if you let me. Her tears fell freely. She threw her arms around him, and in that embrace, fragile, trembling, healing, the toxic storm that had cursed all their lives finally began to fade. Inside, Mike wrapped an arm around Alana, pulling her close. You okay, baby? She smiled softly, laying his hand over her belly. We're perfect. For the first time in days, Mike let himself truly breathe. Everything had changed, but everything was finally right. If you enjoyed the story, remember to like the video and subscribe for more gripping, emotional storytelling. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.